Hi guys, welcome to another video on my channel. So I'm sick right now, but the main reason why I decided to make this video is because I've been struggling with my mental health a bit lately, and I just want to remind yourself that you're stronger than your trauma. You shouldn't let your trauma dictate over your life. You're always capable of choosing for yourself. You're always capable of making the good decision for yourself in order to expand. And you shouldn't let your trauma obstacle you. So I've recently been feeling as if I came back to the spot some years ago where I was struggling very bad with my mental health because of certain dynamics that reminded me of that situation. And I literally understood that certain kind of situations basically remind me of my trauma. It's like a experience linked to memory, right? And I start to experience those vivid memories again, and it kind of makes me feel pain because I relive everything over and over again. I've always been judged. I've been judged my whole life. I've been judged by my whole family. I've been judged by school experiences. I've been judged for my appearance, for my personality, for the way I behaved, and all of those things. People always had something to say about myself, right? Being judged ever since you were a kid, this leaves a sort of mark on the brain, right? And when you grow up, you are more prone to basically be inflicted by judgment. I mean, you try to keep your guard on people in order not to be judged again because you're living the trauma over and over again, and so you're more reactive to that, right? But when I was thinking to myself, does it really matter at the end of the day? Do I really need to waste my time caring about what people think when it comes from their perspective? Do people have more power over my activities, over my well-being? Do we really have this power? The answer is, if you give them power, yes. If you don't give them powers, they don't have any, because they can judge, but if you don't react to that, they have no power. The negative aspect of trauma is that ever since you start to get the trauma, it lingers in your head, it lingers in your brain, and before it actually starts to disappear, to fade away from your mind, it takes time and time and time in order to heal. Because even if you feel like you healed, you still sometimes have these thoughts, these negative thoughts that keep on lingering in your head. And then you start to ask yourself, have I really healed, or was I just distracted, right? But the fact is, you can always choose to be stronger than your trauma. You can always choose to stay rigid on the mental aspect. You can always choose to maybe build a routine for yourself and stay vigilant and kind of disciplined on following the routine that you plan for yourself. You can just adapt rules to yourself in order not to overthink everything, in order not to get anxious all of the times. You can choose to reflect deeper on your emotions. Personally, I was discussing with myself about this days ago, and I was thinking, I was trying to rationalize everything through the brain, but I was not trying to, feel the emotions, which heal from the emotional side. It felt like I was sort of suppressing the emotions through rationalization, but rationalization is not everything. It's a good chunk of the healing process, because you need to rationalize the stage in order to heal. But I think that the hardest part of it all is basically that we skip the emotional side, okay? We decide that the emotional side is not important, or it's just too hard sometimes, okay? It is just challenging, and challenging things scare us because we refuse to feel the pain, But it's actually the thing that will make us heal. Because, you can rationalize everything, but if you don't internalize what the feeling is saying, if you don't heal the feeling, if you're not being apparent to your feeling, for example, if you have constant anxiety all of the times, if you don't decide to be apparent to that anxiety, because as a kid you constantly felt afraid, you will never heal. Because it's like saying, you are not important, you are garbage, stay away from me. I only use the brain in order to get and move on from my life. No, you also need to internalize the emotion and heal the emotion. You need to talk to these emotions, right, in order to heal. I think this is the reason where I get most of my emotional intelligence from. Because ever since I start to experience all of these traumatic experiences, I adapt survival mode to the brain, right? In order to keep going, to fight for my life, right? And all of those things. So I had to reflect deeper on those emotions. And by carrying all of those pain, I developed this intelligence. And it's something so beautiful. But sometimes, I just wish that I could run away from this environment, because I feel like the main reason why sometimes I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I feel most of the, signs that I'm not okay is because of the environment I'm surrounded by. I don't like being there. I wish I could just escape. I wish I could just get my own apartment. I wish I could just get maybe with my pets, all of those things. And yes, guys, I also came to the conclusion that I am better off alone. I only keep my circle very, very, very small. I only keep real friends in my circle, people that are aligned with my mindset. Because I came to the conclusion that most people don't get me. Okay, I'm not saying this just as a pick me, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying this because I actually use my intelligence very well. And most people, I don't know if they can get to that point to basically understand the perspective, but I personally believe that they don't understand my perspective, right? And so I came to the conclusion that I'm better off alone, okay? Because as a very self-introspective person, I decide to detach from situation to make me feel bad, okay? And whenever I experience certain kind of situation to make me feel unstable, I decide to detach from that situation, and also the people, obviously. After years of trauma, stress, and all of those things, I now only want my peace, because my peace is very dear to me. So this is the main reason why I cut off most of my friendships. I don't talk to certain type of people, okay? Because they're not fulfilling my soul. They're just making me feel worse at the end of the day. And I don't want that for myself. So that was your gentle reminder to love yourself and that you are stronger than your trauma. Because I'm here right now, I'm speaking. I'm a person who felt trauma for a big part of his life. But I'm still there. I'm still breathing. I'm still trying to get to my dream spot. I'm still trying to work towards my dream reality, towards my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, all of those things. They are not only dreams. They are also determination, because I know that I'm going to achieve all of those goals. It just takes time. Yes. It takes pain. Yes. It takes effort. Absolutely. But I'm going to reach all of them. And I will prove everyone wrong without taking revenge. And this is undoubtedly the biggest revenge I'm going to get. So yes, guys, I hope that you liked the video, you subscribe, and that I was helpful to you. Bye.